that I'm waiting on phone calls back to see if they've got one.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, and I'm thinking like the old ones, like Franklin Roosevelt,
Yeah.
with the big wood back on
Yeah.
it and the rattan and the big huge wheels.
Yeah, like it sits in the corner and
Yes,
squeaks and
that's
locks
it.
by itself.
Yes, right, exactly.
A little tricycle that rolls around without anybody on it.
Yes, yeah.
If it comes with a ghost, I mean that's even
That's
more
okay
valuable.
too. Yeah, that's okay too.
We found a Civil War bone saw.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
it comes with some documentation paperwork and
Oh,
stuff.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
When you were talking about the haunted stuff and torture, all that, we started getting online websites and stuff that
Tons of
sell
that.
that shit.
Yeah.
It's like this German company that's all they deal with is medieval weapons
Really?
and torture.
yeah.
And they had like the beheading axes and
Yeah.
swords were like $8,000 for an axe. But
And those are reproductions. Like,
no, these are all
Real
legit,
ones?
real.
Like heads been cut off ones.
Yeah.
So I was telling Justin, I was like, well, why don't we just build him this like badass guillotine? And Justin goes, well, he actually wants the haunted stuff. I was like, okay, then we'll cut it.
I'd like to have. I mean, if we could make like a real functioning guillotine
We could do it.
with this kind of look on it.
Yeah, you could actually have some large chain like this. That other chain with the roller that I've got on that coffee table that you saw, you could actually have that work where it drops down and it'll make a racket like you never heard before.
I mean, we want to actually cut shit with it. And
Yeah, so anyway,
And stuff like that.
we'll sharpen that down, we get the steel.
Just make a guillotine pizza cutter.
Why not?
did you see that pizza cutter that you ever go on Monkey Edge?
Mm-hmm.
Brady's website. That fucking awesome.
You showed me the picture, yeah.
Isn't that thing cool?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to buy a pizza oven so we can use that pizza cutter. It's pretty wild. Well, man, you outdid yourself once again.
Thank you. This is one of the pieces I'm most proud of that I've ever done.
That's what I want to do every time we have you do a piece of furniture. I want you to say that at the end.
It will. Each one will outdo itself. That's my goal every day, is to make my next piece stunning.
So what's next? What are you working on now?
So now I've got some shelving units to do. I've got a customer that's got. They've asked me to do angle shelving. It goes out and all it does is props up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So
She
you'll
likes
see a
that.
lot. Yeah. And so it'd come out 15-inch depth on set. They're actually putting all of their like TV equipment, all the sound systems and
neat.
everything on the lower shelves, and then they've got some decoration they're going to put up here.
Neat.
And I'm thinking about doing like I said with the wood, doing wood shelves, metal frame, and then having an old dough bowl from I've got one from the 1800s that would sit up here that you could do flowers out of and just kind of overhang for decoration and
That's
that
cool.
kind of thing. So yeah. So I'll start that this weekend. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So do you have a bunch of projects kind of in the works always? at one
I
time?
actually, Justin and I were talking about that on the way over here. I've got people have contacted me about many things. There are a couple of projects I'm not willing to take on. I don't do a lot of furniture repair anymore. I used to just to kind of keep my bills paid and that kind of thing, but it's now getting to the point where I don't need to do that. And so I'm turning down or recommending other people for those jobs. And so I'm just taking on custom work now,
Nice.
and then just doing my own creative things. So. Nashville Antique and Garden Show this year. I'll have some brand new stuff there that I think is going to be pretty killer. I sold out last year, all but 3 pieces, I should say. I had to go get those to bring them in.
Is
And
that the show we came to?
that's the one y'all came to.
And
Yeah.
when is that?
That will be February, Valentine's Day weekend.
Okay.
So, yes. Great things to take your girl to, for sure. When you say it's a different place. You see a lot of things you've never seen before.
That's where we saw all that Civil War stuff.
Where we
got
also
that
saw
table.
all
The
those
table,
Right.
yeah.
So the table they delivered this week.
Yes.
Did they get it? Okay.
Yeah, that just came
It's
here,
in there.
That's awesome.
and we purchased it there. And then the rare book dealer, right when you walk in, that huge
That's right.
book dealer.
That guy's got some amazing
They have
stuff.
some skin bound books and some crazy different shit. But he had a amputation table. That was
That's
in there.
right. So if you're looking for the haunted shit,
Yeah,
go back there because there will be plenty of it
and
there.
I'm sure he's tied in with all that shit.
There was you guys may have seen it, but there was a Napoleonic from the time of Napoleon. It was actually an officer's cot that was turned into a coffee table, and that was some really cool, like
Yeah,
that's some haunted shit right there for sure. But it is, I don't know how many battles it had seen, but it had been through
Yeah,
some
I'll
stuff,
bet.
so yeah,
That's wild.
yeah.
So, like I'll get up Saturday morning, say, what are you gonna work on? I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna go in and do emails. I'll end up selling something, or I might be mowing the side of the highway. But later on, I don't ever know. Like I can't task to if I have to do something, I won't do it. So I've always got 100 projects started. I've got this in a bin and that. Is that how your stuff is? Kind
Yeah, so I've got, I always have 3 or 4 things in the works. So whether it's my own stuff or stuff for custom, like while I was building yours, there were times I just had to take a mental break
Right.
from
Oh,
the design,
without a doubt.
and then I would come back, and then that's actually where these came from. Here, so I took a break and I said, what am I going to do with these? And I thought about using them as cross supports. It didn't need it after I built it in. So I was like, okay, we need a buffer. Let's create a wall with them, and so there's a buffer. So if you've got somebody in your office,
Yeah.
there's that kind of natural desk feel as well
Right.
as the design aspect as well. But I always have quite a few things going at once. And like you said, man, sometimes I just got to go get on the tractor and bush hog a field,
Yeah.
and just to get away. And my wheels are always turning. I think.
Dude, tell them about your building, where you build all this stuff, and the house.
So the house that I live in is it is a Civil War general's home. It's General Richard Stoddard Ewell. So when Stonewall Jackson was killed, and he was friendly fired, he was killed by his own troops. The natural progression was that General Ewell took over his corps, which is what happened. So General Ewell was directly under command. He was in line with Longstreet and right under Lee. By the time Gettysburg rolled around, General Ewell lost his leg at the Second Manassas battle. So he had a peg leg, and the rumor is that you can hear the peg leg in the house
Okay.
during certain times of the year. I'm not going to say whether I have or have not heard them. Definitely suspicious. We have a coffin room between the first floor and the second floor, where officers' coffins were kept during the Civil War. So the oldest part of the house is 1820, completed as you would see it now in 1874. So after the war, it was the very, very top level was added on. But it's a neat place. The Union troops camped out there the day before the Battle of Franklin. That's where and many of those guys lost their lives.
What
at that
about
battle.
the library? Roosevelt.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt stayed there, and he wrote. He spent. It was either 6 weeks or 6 months. Anyway, whatever it was, he spent time at the house using the library resources to write the book "Winning of the West," and there's several volumes of that book. And in the book, he talks. There's part of it's just done as a narrative, and he talks about where he's staying and writing this, and he talks about the mockingbirds being in the magnolia tree. Well, the magnolia tree he was talking about is still in our yard.
Well, that's
Wow.
And there are mockingbirds that still live in that tree, which is really strange. Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of stuff at the farm. We keep bees. We farm it. We had soy and wheat this year. We did rotated crops this year, and so I'm always busy, like you
So
said,
you-
man.
you
I'm
work
always
the
at
farm?
some- Yeah, I help. Yeah, so the backside of the property, we have. My dad passed away about 5 years ago, and we thought we were going to have to sell the place. And so Kirk and I said, that's not going to happen. My brother's name's Kirk. And we just said, you know what, let's get this, let's make sure this happens. And we had a local farmer that came in and said, we're going to help you out too. And he said, that's awesome. That's great. So Kirk and I, we helped bale the fields for most of the acreage is baled for local farms in the area.
Round or square bales?
Round bales. Yeah, large round bales. And then the backside was the farmer. He took that on just to grow some crops on, and he maintains that whole section back there. So, which we're very grateful for, because it's a lot of work to keep that up and do this, and work the part time as well.
How much property is it?
76 acres. So compared to what's around us, it's tiny. Like we got, I think, 350 on one side, 600 on another side. But we're grateful to have it. It's an incredible place. It's a lot of history to it.
Cool house.
Yeah, you've been in. He's an asshole of a dog, but
Yeah.
he doesn't like dudes. Amanda, he'd be okay with you, but everybody
As
else
soon as
wants to
I
tear
walk
him
in the
down.
house, like, you can hear him
Bloody murder.
wants to kill me. It's
No.
like,
What kind of dog is it?
It's an Australian Shepherd.
That's enough dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is very territorial,
Yeah,
very
we got
protective
one outside.
of his pack. Do you have one, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Love the Australian Shepherd breed. Fantastic dogs. Smart. Super
Oh,
smart.
yeah.
Too smart.
Too smart, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, y'all need to come out.
Yeah, we
Come out. Come hang out. And we'll do a dinner. Justin, come out, bring Sarah.
Do a
And
video of where you build all the stuff, the building that you and your brother have.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so, like where this stuff's just laying around, like
It's lays in pieces outside, and like all of this stuff was just kind of strung up on a fence line that I've got on the end. So I sit there and I will sit in a chair and stare at that fence line and just start building stuff in my head and figure out what works and what doesn't. And then I sit at a computer and I'll just lay it out on a computer and see if it's structurally going to work and that kind of thing. And that's why I can push the limits of not having bracers and things like that, because I already know it's going to work before I put it together.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but yeah, we built a 40 by 60 about 2 years ago. Barn. So part of it's a wood shop. I've got my metal welding in on one end, and my brother does his picking
cool.
stuff on the side. So yeah, yeah, man, come out. I'll take you in the coffin room.
Yeah, we'll come out.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and these are for you guys. In my roaming around, I came up with some
You brought us some hand
grenade canisters.
Hand grenades?
I don't actually.
Thank you.
I wish I had some grenades. I don't have any.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That'd be a good pin.
I have mine.
Pin holder.
Desk is a pin
Yes,
holder.
pin holder. A friend of mine, he bought one. He just he's smoking these kind of backwood type cigar, and he put them in their perfect size.
Yeah.
And they fit right down in there, and that's what he's using for.
Justin Coyle.
Justin Coyle, yeah,
Yeah.
you all know Justin, yeah.
Is he still policing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are cool, man.
Yeah.
I saw Scully looking at them. I thought they were, because we've got some for smoke grenades. I said,
Yeah.
where are those at? He said, no, these aren't. Right on. Well, thank you, man.
Anytime, man. Thank y'all. This has been a pleasure to do this project. Amanda, I hope you enjoy it.
I
really
love
do.
it.
She will.
I'm very excited about it.
Awesome.
All right, man. Turn that shit
Cool.
off.